Okay, it's time for the draft watch along. This is gonna be not as but I was gonna say not as buttoned up as usual, but am I really? Am I really buttoned up? Gerard Hector's here.
Do you even own button ups? That's probably my first question.
Yes, because I broke a few out when we did the watch alongs for every Nick playoff game.
Okay.
Dex and I.
Okay.
But like, admittedly, like I'm not a suits guy. I'm anti-suits. Um, Speaking of suits, tricked you. This is actually an election show. No, I'm kidding. Um, Post-election recap that may or may not come up at some point. Okay, so watch along is here. We're gonna be just tracking the draft and most importantly trades throughout the night. Jarod Hector from TrueHoop is here. Also joining will be Dexter Henry, and we'll see. Maybe one or two others may pop in, and what have you. And then after this, Dex and I will recap the draft at the post YouTube channel. We're gonna do a live there, and it'll be probably Nets centric because they have 5 first-round picks. I don't think they're gonna use all of them.
But they probably should, though, B, right? Like, I was thinking about this today. Like,
all of them?
Well, look, the lesson of the NBA Finals is that the NBA is doing different things now. No longer is it about, let me get superstar, whatever, get another superstar, whatever, and we gonna ride. That's not a thing. Like, you will not be able to compete with the Oklahoma Cities and Indiana Pacers of the world if you don't have depth. And the problem with getting particularly expensive supermax guys all on one team is that eliminates your ability to get depth. And when I say depth, I don't mean fringe rotation dudes making $1 million a year. I mean legitimate dudes you have to pay money to. And you can't do that with 3 old expensive dudes, right? So my thing is with the Nets, what you should do is, because you're not winning the championship next year anyway. So do that. Be like OKC in that you're going to be bad for 2 years, right? Keep getting those draft picks, and maybe you take them and you trade for a young and ascending someone who will be a potential MVP candidate in a couple years, like SGA, and then you're off and running, right? That's the name of the game.
Yeah. All right. Dex is here, and also
what's up, people?
Greg is in the background producing. I may pop in Greg at some point. Greg, how you doing back there? Actually, I'm gonna pop you in right now. How you doing back there?
Just trying to
yeah. What's up, Greg? Damn.
Hey, what's up, bro? I'm just trying to survive, bro. This shit is.
You sound beat
I
down.
know, Greg, you sound like you beat down by the man. Like, what's going on, man?
Yeah, this heat is insane.
Listen, stop. We're not doing that today. Listen,
bro.
We live in a part of the country where for 9 months all year we complain that I don't want to be outside, man. This weather's trash.
Except now you can't be outside.
Listen, man, Dexter. We are good people, Dexter.
Jarod sounds so comfortable.
All I'll say to this is, Jarod, you make a fair point. I'm just glad I don't do that job anymore.
Oh my God, man!
I'm just glad I don't do that job anymore.
You are right, Greg, in that I am in my sleeveless tee.
You sound very comfortable.
Go to the beach.
You sound very comfortable in your AC room.
I mean, I am
very comfortable. You know what I mean? No sweat. Just having a blast.
To be fair, I was out in the madness earlier, and I do my run, wet rain, sleet, shine, don't matter, heat. I do what I do,
Yeah.
But it's good. It's all good, man.
What time did you go running?
This morning was in the 8 o'clock hour. So, it
Okay.
was more about then. It wasn't like peak, but,
Okay.
But that's like, it's like in the off season, right? When like dudes go to Dubai and shit and run up the sand hills and whatnot and do all their workouts. It's like the body adapts, it adapts. Greg's like, my body ain't adapting. It's like, my body ain't adapting to shit.
I hate the heat. Yo, this is terrible.
By the way, did y'all see this? Hold on.
What happened? Already? Yeah, man. What happened now?
Not a good.
We just started.
This is not a good. This is not a good sign. When I'm like, yo, did y'all already see this? So this is from Sports Center from before.
Mm-hmm. They identified as a white person.
They
here
they
we
mistaken Cooper Flag for Ace Bailey.
Yeah. Watch this. Just watch.
I mean, this happens to us all the time.
You're looking at Cooper Flag.
She says it here too. Watch. Listen. Let me put it up. She's like, you're looking at Cooper
Welcome
Flag.
back to Sports Center. You're looking at Cooper Flag, and in just over an hour from now.
With a black
Cooper Flag at all, actually.
Wow.
That is quite famously Ace Bailey.
Nice.
There's
that
Cooper
is L.
Flag.
Duncan.
I was going to say, that's not him either.
I don't know how they get that messed up.
That's not Cooper Flag.
Because they're going down up. Here's the thing. once we get to like here,
And
I'm
she-
like,
and
that's
she's
that's
just- she's just reading the stupid thing on the prompter. She ain't
Right,
seeing
and she
it.
didn't look at. Yeah, you guys have to understand. Like for the people watching, as somebody who does this, she did not. She's reading the prompter.
Yeah.
She probably glanced at the monitor and then was told in her ear, "That's not Cooper Flag."
Yeah.
L. Duncan knows what Cooper Flag looks like.
Right.
And trust me,
Isn't that
ain't
on
no
the
black
producer
person mixing
to
up
be like
a black person for a white person. Like that's not.
Well, once we get to here where you see the big ass
Rutgers.
R, yeah, you see the Rutgers logo.
Shout out to the R, Scarlet Knights,
Oh,
proud Rutgers alum. Shout
That's
out.
right. That's
But
right.
isn't that on the producer to be like, hey, get a shot of Cooper Flag?
I mean,
Well, I think they did, and they thought it was, but you know,
Listen,
they hung
the
L
state,
out
the
to
state
dry.
of media these days, y'all
Yeah,
know
it's
this
bad.
This is trash, man.
It's pretty bad.
These people don't care. It's just whatever. But yo, I was saying though, but Dex, you with me on that? Like when we're talking about the Nets, right? Like the goal is you want to replicate. Okay, see, everyone says the NBA is a copycat league, but what teams copy are the wrong things. They don't copy the get it in the mud, the hard shit. They copy, shoot threes. Okay, yeah, but how do you generate the threes? Right? Like, okay, get a bunch of dudes, young dudes. No. You got to develop them. I said this to Bryan yesterday. Shout out to you, B, for clipping it. There are more talented players in the world than there are available slots to play in the NBA. It is on you as an organization to find these people and develop them. Now, I made it sound very easy. That shit is hard as fuck.
Right.
Yo, that's what we pay you fucking millions of dollars for. The hell you doing?
You know, it's funny.
Cooper Flag is officially the number one overall.
Yes.
There you go.
No surprise. Greg, if there's anything you think is worth posting up there, like for screen share purposes, just feel free or just send it to me. But you could do it by yourself.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah,
what else we got?
Let me see.
Yeah, I spoke with a international scout the other day who. Oh, nice picture. I spoke with an international scout the other day who kind of said some of the same stuff you said, Jarod. You know, in that there's talent everywhere. You know, you can find it. It's just, can you develop and tap into how that works within the system of whatever a team is running. Everybody has to be aligned in that. We've talked about this before. This is what the good front officers do. I think you make another good point in that people act like that's easy. We're saying you can do it. It's not easy, but I think the notion, and I've even heard it from colleagues of mine, that like, there's no value in the second round of the draft. I always say that. Yeah, I think that's nonsense. And we've seen that before. Like, the Knicks have the 50th pick. What are you going to do with that? Find a good player and develop him? How about that? Right? Like
the problem is, I think, Dex, a lot of teams, I think, treat the second round like a lot of fans do. Ain't nobody good in that second round. They just draft whatever. And it's like, what are you doing? You have 15 roster spots. Don't just fill it with whoever, right? Like, fill it with dudes who you know can be developed and can play. Otherwise, what are we doing out here?
I agree. I completely. I'm someone who completely agrees. Like, you can find these guys and develop them.
Whoa, that's trippy, Greg.
Does that work?
Greg just set this into a whole other planet with this shit.
That was like that was flashing lights. Word to Kanye.
Now listen, three players that I'm going to mention right now.
I got it.
Players who were instrumental in the NBA Finals and helping to win games.
Look at this.
Lou Dort, Andrew Nembhard, and
Brian, I sent you a Cooper Flag video.
Yeah.
Anybody could have drafted those three. You know how I know that? Because they were picked in the second round, which means every team passed on them at least once, some twice.
Check this out. We got
3 second round picks who were instrumental.
We got Fire Nico chance in Dallas.
They exist.
Wow. Oh, damn, that's loud.
Why would I Fire Nico chance?
Honestly, I gotta be honest to the Dallas fans. Y'all gotta get over it.
Really?
It's over now.
It's over. It's done.
It's been over.
They're not firing Nico. But and also I said Jarod and I did something where I said this. If you're so mad, why are y'all still showing up and spending your money?
Yeah.
You're mad at the organization, but hey, I'm gonna go to this watch party at the American Airlines Center. Idiots.
Shit. fans. Real dumb. Real dumb.
Yo, but the chant was loud, bro. Did you hear this?
Here's great. You know what Nico ain't doing? Thinking about none of y'all with that fat salary he makes, living his fat cushy life.
Didn't he have to hire private security?
Great, he can afford it.
He's thinking about it.
He probably wrote that shit off to the team. Like, great, and I'm sure his life is wonderful. Driving great cars, got a great house, kids in private schools. Like, life is great. If you're
it's also Texas. Nico might keep that thing on him. You don't know.
You know, he might keep that thing on him.
Are you right?
Dylan Harper, number 2 to San Antonio. I still wonder if they keep this, but
I don't know why should they?
Is Dylan an off or a lead ball handler?
I think he's a lead guard.
Yeah, the problem is everyone's a lead.
But they already have Castle.
That's
they already have Castle and Fox.
He's 6'6", 6'5"-ish. I would say 6'6". He's kind of like, because he's lefty, he's gonna get James Harden comparisons.
Yeah.
But someone.
We're not gonna do this tonight. We're not.
No, I'm telling you, he's gonna get left-handed comparisons. James Harden comparisons because
what we're not gonna do is do that, okay? Because we already know how I feel about James Harden and how reasonable people feel about James Harden.
I did a show with Brandon Anderson yesterday at Buckets, and we were doing the draft show and all the evaluations. And he did make a Harden comparison, but specifically to OKC Harden, not to Houston James Harden, which I found interesting. He is very high on Dylan Harper, though. I like him. Really I like him. I have questions, though.
Both versions of Harden were excellent. One was 6th man of the year. The other one was fucking the league's best offensive player for 5 seasons. So
I wonder if they keep this pick, but it seems like they are. I just don't think long term you're going to keep that core 4 together of De'Aaron Fox,
Stephon Castle, him.
Doesn't make sense.
Too many small. Listen, you know how I feel about small dudes. Like sorry, like I'm already like this is.
They're not that small. But I get the
3'6'4" with shoes on.
Harper's 6'6",
and
so
Castle's what 6?
He's your de facto 3. You obviously have Wemby, so whatever.
Yeah, I understand that, but surrounding Wemby with a bunch of 6'4" dudes, no, I'm not interested in that. Like I'm out on that. Now, Stephon Castle, they list him here as 6'6". When I watch him, he don't look 6'6" to me. He don't play like he's 6'6".
No, I don't think so. But I mean, look, man, like this was the consensus. Now, to me, this is where the draft gets interesting.
Yes. Forget about like who's consensus. What is your strategy and plan, and who fits your strategy and your plan? That's what teams should be doing. Who the fuck cares who the number 2 on everyone's overall draft board is? Does he fit what I do? That's what I want to know. Does he fit what I want to do?
Not sure if Harper should be celebrating. We got in the comments from one of our boys, Dex. For a long time, he's followed both of us. And then he says, "Have you been to San Antonio?" ? Implying that
San Antonio's dope. San Antonio's cool. Austin's cool. Dallas is cool. I haven't been to Houston yet.
Really? Oh.
I've not. No. Just work never brought me out there. I mean, most of these. I'm not trying to like denigrate, but I ain't choosing Texas as a vacation spot. Most of those places are work related, and I just tack on time to stay.
Fair enough.
But yeah. Listen, you go to Texas, what's wild when you land wherever, it's just you can see for miles. It's just flat. Right? You're just like, damn, it is just flat out here.
Yep.
Right? Like
nothing
but miles in front of you.
I've never been to Texas. Look at this. Top 5 picks in Spurs history. David Robinson, Sean Elliott, Tim Duncan, Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper. That's crazy.
That's not bad. Look,
that's also 4 rookies of the year.
Which is all well and good, but to me, this is now year 3 for Wemby coming into. Look, he's already, by every metric, the best defensive player in the league and a top 10 offensive player, like just by advanced stats alone. And I think his stealing offensively, he's not even anywhere near scratching that yet. How long does he want to keep doing this like thing that they're doing? And I'm not saying go all in and win now. It's not what I'm saying. It's more like when they are ready to actually win, who on this roster will be here with him? De'Aaron Fox?
I mean, they paid him like he will be.
Are we sure it's De'Aaron Fox? I'm just asking. I don't have an answer.
This is where the draft begins to me. Dex, I want, because we talked extensively about number 3, although a bunch of that was off record. All of it was off record, as a matter of fact. So I don't know what we're allowed to get into, but with the 3rd overall pick. Let's see.
Who's drafting Cedric Coward? That's what I want to know.
Cedric Coward, he's going to be later on. It's going to be a shame
because I think he's very good.
It's going to be a minute, but with Cedric Coward, that's interesting. I think with the number 3 overall pick, though, there's been rumors about Philly potentially. Yeah. This potentially. Now I got to change Dex's name. But there's been there we go. So Dex, number 3 overall. And
do
we think Philly keeps this? I guess is where I'm at with this.
I think it's more likely because I think if they were going to move it would have happened already, but you never know. There were some conversations about this with the team in Brooklyn. I can tell people that there were conversations about it.
If you are Philly right now, you're not winning an NBA championship next year. That's just clearly not happening. So
why you out here hating on the process, bro?
I'm not hating on the process. I think the process actually works. What they're doing now is not the process. You don't know how many games you have left in Joel Embiid's body. Nobody knows. Nobody has the answer to that question.
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey is the best and the best player on that squad that will get you the most in a move. I'm saying you have to at least entertain it. You got to.
You and I have been on this. We're on the same wavelength with this, Jarod. We've been on this for well over a year. That before last summer, we were like, yo, you build through Maxey. You trade everything else, you build through Maxey. I agree. I've also talked to somebody else close to the Sixers that agrees. But I still think they're trying to run this and commit it to Embiid.
Oh, I know they are. And my thing is, you have no guarantee on that dude being healthy. Literally none. And Tyrese Maxey is 24 years old. And did he make All-Star last year?
Year before.
2024. Yeah, it was also 2024. Look, that is the Sam Presti plan, right? If you try to be like Oklahoma City, that's the Sam Presti plan. You move Maxey and you get a haul back in return. Not just picks, but you get another young ascending star who you say, this is someone who we believe can be a future top 5 guy, perennial MVP candidate, and then you do all your shit. That's the move.
Here we go. Keith Pompey, who is the most plugged into the Sixers. Sixers will draft VJ Edgecombe according to sources.
I mean, the draft is going how I thought it would go, right? All the names everybody talks about are going first. Like, okay, great. And again, I'm not
I think we're
knocking
spoiling it.
any of these
I think we're ahead of the broadcast here because we're just going on to it. Hey, I mean, look, we're not restreaming it. We're just, we're just on the ball here.
I'm not knocking any of these dudes. I'm just like, okay, cool.
I love VJ Edgecombe. Dex.
Shout out to Pitt Journalism Legend Keith Pompey.
That's right.
Yo, I mean, listen, I know the Nets liked Edgecombe. I can tell you that. Nets really liked Edgecombe.
I could too.
I like him for the Sixers. Can he? Here's the thing: him starting with Maxey. I'm not sure about that backcourt defensively.
Who's guarding on that team?
They have Jared McCain too. That's the thing. So this gets interesting because you have Edgecombe, who's 6'5", maybe
6'5",
maybe. I think that's
maybe.
accurate,
I think he's
maybe.
close to 6'3".
We guess it now.
6'5" with kicks, we can give him that. Maxey 6'3" and McCain is in that range too. So, I mean,
small. Okay, cool. Who's guarding on that team?
That's my question.
Edgecombe is the best perimeter defender of the three of those guys.
He is.
He's like really good. He's going to walk into the door and be a really good perimeter defender.
So
the problem with Edgecombe,
a plus defender from day one.
Yes,
in the NBA.
Defense is not his issue. Shooting, question mark. Now, here's the thing that's interesting about this draft. There are a lot of dudes in this draft that can't shoot. For some reason, this draft is talented. There's a lot of dudes that just broken jumpers. We're going to see that throughout. Edgecombe is not like a broken jumper type of dude. It's just the consistency, right? Mm-hmm. But when he played with the Bahamian national team in the FIBA Olympic qualifiers and when he played at Baylor, I think the FIBA stuff is a better representation of who he is because he's not a college basketball player and Baylor's offense was kind of, I don't know, it was silly last year. But Edgecombe is good, but he does need some seasoning on the offensive side of the ball. And I don't know. I think this, to me, Philly is just taking like, who do we think is the best player available? So I'm fine with the pick in that regard. I just think they're going to have to choose soon. All right, are you just leaning young? Who's staying on the roster? What's your long-term plan? I think Maxi's good enough to be a franchise guy. I told you that, Jarod, yesterday. I think he's good enough to be.
Well, which is why Jarod would trade guys and build around him.
Well, if you have him and McCain on those contracts with Edgecombe, like, I mean, if assuming they're keeping the Edgecombe pick, which for now,
assuming that they are, right? Good point. They could still this could still be moving, but here's what I'll say without trying to say too much. If they are going to move the Edgecombe pick, then it's going to be to a place where they think they can also get rid of some salary. You can do what you want with that, folks.
It's one of those three, but it's probably the third one.
Look, all it takes is one. Of course, you'd want to move Embiid because that's the one you're not sure about in terms of how many games he has left, even though he is the MVP level player. But he's old and we have no guarantees. But if you can get a haul back from that allows you to keep Maxey and build around him. But in the event that most teams are like, there's no way we're trading for Joel Embiid, then you got to move Maxey, right? Because that's the one that gives you all the shit to build.
Sixers top 5 picks since Allen Iverson. Evan Turner, Joel Embiid, Jahlil Okafor, Ben Simmons, Markelle Fultz, VJ Edgecombe.
You have one MVP in there. Now, to be fair, Simmons was a multiple-time All-Star and All-NBA and All-Defense. So, like, yes, I know where he is now, but, like,
he got there fast also.
He sure did. He sure did.
Real fast.
And he was, well, no matter what you think of him, because I was not high on Simmons, he was one of the best defenders and passers.
Sure.
I was high on his defense, but that wore off.
I was high on his playmaking, too. I felt like, again, like, the pieces didn't match. The way you have to play with Simmons don't work with Joel Embiid.
Yep. It's the opposite of what you should surround Joel Embiid
Correct.
with, which is why conceptually James Harden made more sense. Tyrese Maxey makes more sense, but it didn't work. You know, like they got beat by the Heat,
Joel
and they made
healthy,
and then Harden got out of there, got traded. Actually, no, he got traded too there, but then
and this is your dilemma is that if I told you Joel Embiid is going to play 40 games next year, would you be shocked?
No, hell no.
I mean, I shocked in what direction?
In any direction.
Because I'm almost like 40. 40 is like more than double what he did this year.
You see? This is my point. This is my point.
That is fair.
This is my point.
You know how dudes don't play back to backs? They'll just Embiid. They'll be like, yo, every other game you'll play. Like it's just how
now that may be the plan for him. Every other game, cool. But how do you?
Well, that's not cool. You cannot sustain that.
How does that work for the playoffs? Right? How do you? Now again, it makes sense because in the playoffs there are no back to backs, right? The most you have is a game every other day, and early in the rounds, not as later in the rounds, you get 2 days off in between, right? So like, but again. That is the Sixers, if they're keeping Embiid, their whole system and goal has to be, how do we deliver that man to the most important part of the season, the healthiest? That is the goal. And I don't think we have an answer or a process to how we get that done.
All right. I'm going to pull up. We're going to switch here. Joel Embiid's contract, just so we could have a look at this before we move on to something else Greg sent me that I think is interesting, although maybe not as interesting, but still could be very interesting depending on what happens. But
I do want to add one thing, Brian. I do, and I saw some people bring this up. I wonder if the Sixers would have taken Ace Bailey had he actually shown up for that dinner last week, because the Sixers reportedly were high on him. One to take Bailey. Bailey now still in play for the Nets, depending on. He can go anywhere here from 4 to 8. So who knows?
That doesn't feel like a Sean Marks move to me. I wonder if that's a smokescreen, but I've been thinking about this all day because you and I have both heard things about Paul George, number 3, Nets. I suppose it could just be Paul George now.
Nets like I don't think Paul George to do what?
To turn him around potentially and just turn him into
There's only
some
one
sort of
reason-
draft capital
the
there,
only
and
reason
because
you
they
want him-
need to take in salary. So
Yeah, because you got to take his salary. They are the only team that has enough cap space to do it, and they can get some draft assets. Now, Jarod,
I would have thought number 3 would have been part of that, but
Jarod, the reason you're doing that is because you're like, well, I see that slowing my development overall, and I do think to some degree, not to some degree, you would be right because it would give you more bites at the apple, but you're putting him on a team where one, he probably ain't gonna want to be there. And could he mentor the young guys? But that's not what he wants to do right now. And it's just like you still got 3 years of that money. That's a lot. That's a lot in your books for 3 years.
Paul is not. See, it worked in OKC because SGA was he wasn't quite what he was going to be yet. So it was development for him too to turn into the All NBA MVP perennial guy that he is now. So who can they get instead of Paul George that is that kind of guy that is going to be on the upward slope, right?
I think the
Tyrese Maxey?
I think the Nets will try to use their cap space to take more guys to get picks, like we saw them do last night in the Porzingis trade. But that's something where they only have a couple years to deal with. 3 is a lot, and that's money they could then flip and trade the next year. What you want is you want to take money but have some sort of flexibility.
Yeah.
If they took Paul George, that would not give you the flexibility, but it might give you a high draft pick. So this is where the theories came. If they really want an Edgecombe, this is how you go get Edgecombe. That might be the cost to do a business.
Embiid's contract. This is an extension over 3 years and $192 million that doesn't even begin yet. He's still on the other contract.
Con Canoople, number 4 pick to Charlotte.
Con Canoople.
Wow, he
really
jumped up.
Oh, well, the rumors are true. There's been noise about him moving up draft boards like rapidly.
But I'm surprised Trey Johnson didn't go 3 or at least 4.
He'll be soon. I think he's a
he's
top
going
6.
soon.
Yo, Charlotte loves somebody to play the Duke or UNC. They love that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a second. And be real quick. $55 million this year, and then estimate 59, 64 player option for $69 million.
By the time you're paying him 64, he may be at 10 games a season.
He might not even play 64 games by that.
That's a lot of burgers.
There you go.
That's a lot of burgers.
One more thing before we get off Philly. Greg just sent me this. Ace Bailey wasn't feeling the Sixers
Nets game.
apparently.
Hey, Sixers! Come to the Sixers! Sixers! Come to the Sixers! No way!
He turned around.
Hey, Sixers! Come to the Sixers!
He's in the Mets jersey.
So apparently, I think his camp wants him to go to like Washington. Like they want him to get be in a situation where he could get the ball right away or something like that.
Let's see what else we got.
Yes, the Wizards. That awesome fount of player development. Yes, he should definitely go there where he's going to be so good.
I
I mean,
like that
he
they
will
have
get
some,
the ball right away though.
Yeah, great.
I do.
Great.
I actually like what the Wizards are doing though.
I was gonna say I like
Yeah.
that they got some vets. They got CJ McCollum.
A lot of tradable pieces.
CJ McCollum.
around January next year.
But Jarod, that's the thing. They have vets that they can trade
Yes.
by January, and I
It's a
think they will.
playoff contending team.
So what I like is they have their young core. And I'm not just saying that you're wrong to not trust them in the past, but at least what they're doing now is they're taking this young core, they're putting them around some good vets, Marcus Smart, CJ McCollum, and Chris Middleton. Those guys ain't gonna be there past January.
Yeah.
And it's fine. Flip those vets for more assets
Picks. Yep.
and continue to. I think for half a season, those vets can be good for those.
I hope that is the plan, but then I want to know how good are they at developing talent? That's the piece.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Because they failed Kelly Oubre.
We have a couple of Bulls things here that Greg just sent me. Here's one. Bulls looking to trade Lonzo Ball or Kobe White. This according to Joe Crowley.
Kobe who can help a team. Lonzo with the injury, I'm not sure what he's got left in his tank ability-wise, but
a lot of Knicks fans have brought that up to me. They want Lonzo or to trade from one. I don't think the Knicks have anything to trade that the Bulls would want. But I'm like Jarod. I don't trust the injury history. I think Lonzo, in theory, would be a great fit for the Knicks and what they need.
He would be a fantastic backup point guard for Jalen Brunson.
But do you trust?
I don't trust his health. I just don't like
that man. I don't trust his health, so I'm saying no. He's on a friendly contract.
Tell you what,
but I'm saying no.
I love his contract. We have it here, $10 million, and then another $10 million club option for 26-27. There's a reason for that, and it's injuries.
Right.
But man, if he could be functional and play 60-something games a year,
you run and sign him up. If that's the case.
Here's Kobe White, 3 years, $36 million. He's in the final year of this deal, so he's going to be doing.
Take a flyer on him.
I think it's 1 year. He's going to be due an extension, but I think it's an extension he's going to likely reject to get more money down the line because there's a cap to how much he'll be able to get. I don't know what the number is off the top of my head, but that's interesting. And then over here, we have one of the worst contracts in the NBA. The Bulls are also apparently looking to trade, reportedly, Patrick Williams.
So the Bulls are looking to trade everybody.
I need to see the name Nikola Vucevic because the Bulls have the 12th pick and they feel like a Derek Queen team. Now,
what another disaster of a franchise, the Bulls.
Derek Queen's a divisive prospect. Here's Patrick Williams' amazing contract. 18, 18, 18, and a player option for 18 for the next 4 seasons, including this one coming up.
But who wants him?
Right. That
Nobody. No. Awesome was sarcastic. This is one of the worst contracts in the league because they just paid him for the sake of paying him. He's one of the worst top 5 picks that we've had in recent years. Like, he's just not. What does he do?
Nothing.
You know what I mean? Like
nothing. He does
he's
nothing.
Supposed to be a multi-positional defender. He's not like exceptional at that. He's supposed to be a 3-point shooter as well. He can't like on high volume. He's not really that guy.
He is a net neutral defender, and he is a negative on offense. Like what are we doing?
As a number 4 overall pick. One more from Greg. The Miami Heat reported, and this I confirmed with Ethan, a couple Heat people. Miami Heat reportedly like Rui Hachimura and could also potentially push for Dalton Connect in a possible Wiggins trade for Anthony Irwin. Greg Sylvander has done a little bit of reporting on this too. League sources believe and Anthony Irwin covers the Lakers for clutch points. I think he was at SB Nation before, if I'm not mistaken, but he has reported some accurate things around the Lakers, so this isn't some bullshit. League sources believe that Miami will push for Dalton Connect in a trade. Lakers might want to trade one of their future firsts. Miami might also look to move Kyle Anderson.
Lakers. Lead the league in trading away their future first round picks, especially when they're going to be shitty in 2031 and 2032. Great move, Lakers. Great.
What I couldn't figure out here, if it does happen, which I don't know if I expect it, but if this happens, and I'm almost certain Gabe Vincent will be going back to the Heat in this deal. So Luka, Reeves, Wiggins, LeBron, and a center. That's kind of a weird. That's a weird lineup. I don't know if it's a bad one, but it's a weird one.
They ain't winning shit.
This feels like a trade that, like, in theory, like I'm like, why? I don't think it's necessary for either side.
And I don't know what Rui Hachimura and Bam Adebayo and whoever else on the what does that do for you?
Don't like that fit.
I think it's about Dalton Connect, upside swing, I guess, adding a shooter and potentially getting a draft pick. But it feels like why is this trade happening for both teams sort of deal.
Teams get bored, man. They start doing dumb shit. That's what I think.
Let's see. What else? We got another one from Greg. Given the poster this is coming from, I might be a little skeptical, but we'll throw it up there depending on what it says. This is also from Clutch Points. But we know this. Brett Siegel, Utah Jazz eyeing Ace Bailey. Okay, let me tell y'all something.
They're eyeing him, but he ain't eyeing them. I'll tell you that.
Well, guess what? They took him, so it don't matter.
There's a reason.
They took him.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason.
He is
Josh,
so mad.
What up?
He's mad right now the way Dominique Wilkins was mad the night he got drafted by the Jazz.
Oh, yeah, he ain't trying to go to no Utah.
Josh.
Although Dex, you and I can speak about this. We've both been to Salt Lake City. It's a lovely place. Utah's actually quite nice.
It's a little surprising.
I mean, he's smiling right now.
Yeah, because you can't be on the stage looking all kind of.
Unless this is a Danny Ainge fleecing in the making, where you might trade this pick. He's holding people hostage that might want Ace Bailey.
No,
so here's the
Danny
thing.
Ainge been holding people hostage for freaking years and ain't done nothing.
Josh says Bulls are basically an overpriced high-end G League team, which I thought was great. Thank you, Josh, for chiming in. He was on the mandatory earlier, dropped a couple of great comments with Chantel and I. Okay. Like, the thing with this is, so Ace Bailey is the pick. We'll see if it stays, but I can tell you that Bill Simmons talking up Ace Bailey as specifically a Danny Ainge guy is not an accident. I think Danny Ainge was communicating through Bill Simmons like the sort of love that he has for Ace Bailey. There's a pedigree thing there that Danny Ainge loves. He just loves, like, you know, guys who were awesome in high school, doesn't care what they did in college, that Bill Simmons spoke to. But also, like, Bill Simmons floated out there, Lauri Markkanen for number 3, Philly having the number 3rd overall pick, trying to potentially see if it seemed like move up for Ace Bailey. So, and just like that's something that's just been sort of rumbling over the last few weeks. So this, all of which is to say, this is not surprising. Ace Bailey ultimately going to Utah. So far, no trades. We're expecting some. I'll be pissed off if there aren't any. But Ace Bailey to Utah.
You be all right.
Does Ace Bailey to Utah make Lauri Markkanen expendable?
I mean, Lauri should have been gone a long time, not because he's not good, because he's wasting away at that team that ain't doing shit.
I think Lauri Markkanen is the guy on a team right now that's a, you know, all-star level that could swing something for somebody. He
is like the, even though he's a better player than him, he is how the Bulls use Nikola Vucevic. Always dangling him out there, but they have to get exactly what they want, else they're not moving him.
Funny, the Bulls used to have him. They drafted him.
Oh, correct.
Look at this contract.
Like, I get it. Like, you want to get what you want to get from Markkanen, but man, like, what a waste.
Markkanen's a good player. Like, somebody can go after him, and he's gonna help him. Like,
yeah,
he's a good player. It's, you know, feels like he could fit like the Heat, who I know is in OKD. I think he could help them. You look at some of the other teams in the East that might be looking to make a move. I don't know if Detroit would be one of those teams that would want to go after him. Would Memphis want to get involved with Lauri Markkanen? I don't know. It doesn't seem so the way they're developing their young talent. I would say no.
Let's look at this contract, because the extension starts now. 46 again. 49.8, 53.5. That's interesting.
I mean, that's a good contract. He's not even over 50 till 3 years from now. So, like,
good if he's healthy. It's just we haven't, like, it's weird because you don't know if they're like shelving him because he's actually hurt and they're just like being precautious, or they're shelving him because they want to suck.
I think it's the latter.
Yes, I agree.
I probably agree with that. I think Lauri Markkanen's good. He even had some health questions before, like early on in his career, that he overcame with that All-Star year, but it's been weird. I do think, Dex, to your point, like he'll fit with a lot of different teams.
I mean, just the spacing alone, like he's gonna,
and the size.
Well, and then he's 7 feet tall, right? Which, yeah.
And we know Ace Bailey wanted to go to Washington, so I wonder what the calls were like. If Danny Ainge was like, "Yo, y'all want this? What you want to move up one spot?" And you know, Danny Ainge's price was high, and the Wizards were like,
"Nah, fam,
get out of here."
I just hope Ace Bailey is somebody who evolves a little bit more, because like he seems like he's going to be a really like a poor man's Melo. He's super talented, but I feel like he's going to fall into the black hole a little bit because that's what he's been. That's who he's been. And there's a world where he just becomes like Cam Reddish as opposed to actually Carmelo Anthony.
That's another.
He's super talented. Like he's super talented, but these super talented guys don't always work.
And again, I keep going back to these are player development failures. Like, I just don't understand how these. And look, it's not always on the team. Nothing's 100% on any one party. Some of it is on the player themselves as well. But for most players, they need to be in the right environment to reach their full potential. Yeah, your LeBrons and KDs will be good no matter where they went, because whatever. But most people, if they're drafted by the wrong place, it's just not going to work. I look at a guy like LaMelo Ball, man. That dude's super talented. Charlotte's probably the worst place to get that dude. The worst.
Although I think they have a legit coach now.
Yeah, they do. But the infrastructure, guys, it's not just about the coach. The infrastructure has to be good.
Well, I think because we didn't really talk about Concanipo like that. I do think he makes sense there, because I thought he should go 4 because he doesn't need the ball. LaMelo will, Brandon Miller will. They shouldn't even have Miles Bridges. They should try to get rid of him.
That's who you. No, not Miles Bridges. That's the player, Dex. Brandon Miller. That's the one you go after. That's the one you go after.
Charlotte, I'm keeping Brandon Miller.
Of course you are, but maybe Charlotte's like, if I pair LaMelo with whatever, insert like multiple time All-Star here, now all of a sudden we're in the playoffs. Like that's the one I think, Dex, that you trade for, and maybe he's your perennial top whatever. That's the one. There it is, Brandon Miller.
LaMelo Ball, and it's funny, Brian. I don't think you and I have ever talked about it, but like LaMelo Ball is the kids love LaMelo Ball. You know what I'm saying? Because he goes in his bag.
He does all the things that get your brain excited. The no look, dupsy do, all that fancy shit. Like,
but champion. You know what he does a lot of? That's losing basketball. Turns the ball over.
Yep.
A ton. Like, which just sucks because I think dude is a gifted open court player, and he shot the ball better in the league than I thought he would. Although you started seeing some of that when he played in the NBL. He's just too out of control for me, for my taste. I don't think he's crazy. I'd build around Brandon Miller. I love Brandon Miller. I know Brian likes Brandon Miller and did a couple years ago in the draft.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't think it's going to happen because, people like the hype trail. You know what I mean? I'm not saying LaMelo Ball, there's not a good player in there. I think there's a good player in there under the right development. Somebody just got to rein in, get him a little bit, I hate using this term, but like a little bit more under control in terms of how he plays the game. It seems like he's playing too fast.
I think Knipple could be a good connector between the two because he's going to just play a solid role. I think he has a high floor. We'll ultimately see. He could do some things. Ian Begley. Celtics touched base today with teams including San Antonio, number 14th, overall on deals that would land a lottery pick in tonight's draft. Obviously, San Antonio is not moving its number 2 overall pick. As others have reported, Boston has been getting offers for Sam Hauser and listening to offers for Jaylen Brown and Derek White. The indication, and this is me just editorializing, the indication has seemingly been you're going to need a lot to get Derek White or Jaylen Brown, but Boston's open for business. And Sam Hauser is the one that we went into the offseason. I'm like, oh yeah, they're going to move off his salary. So that's an interesting sort of tidbit there.
Yes, it's going to be interesting to see if they can move one of those guys. I doubt they move Brown and White, but Boston doing their due diligence. Listen, I think Boston was going to make moves and sell players whether they won this year or not. So I like what they're doing because in this new cap world where they know who their stars are on their team and they're still in their prime, you got to retool. Fill this, the cupboard, get the assets, go back.
Trey Johnson is the number 6 overall pick, and this is how he apparently is suited and booted at the draft.
Yeah, this is something I can see you rocking, Brian. This is a new special right here.
Trey Johnson is actually one of my favorite players in this draft. He reminds me of Allen Houston. Just want to throw that out there.
No surprise.
Just a pure shooting guard.
Jarod, can't you see Brian rocking this fit?
Oh, hell yeah. That's B all the way. That is B to a T right there.
Trey Johnson. He's the best shooter in this draft, I think. Just a pure shooting guard. Doesn't need the ball, but he couldn't create with the ball. Questions about the defense, though. Don't know what level of defender he's going to bring, but I like the pick for Washington. Washington has players I like. I like Bilal Coulibaly a lot. I like Alex Sarr. I like Trey Johnson. I like getting CJ McCollum for now, and then spinning him off later on.
Yeah, I think CJ McCollum's going to help guards like my guy Bub Carrington. I think he's going to help him a ton.
Bub Carrington. That's right.
I like some of Washington. I like what Washington's done in the draft the last couple of years, and I think they've got some of the nonsense off the team. Like your boy Jordan Poole, Brian. I think they got him off the team.
Jordan Poole, Zion Williamson in New Orleans.
They got Keyshawn George.
Oh yeah, Keyshawn George, who they drafted last year.
Some guys, man.
The key is what Jarod is saying, though. I like what they're trying to do with vets, but it's like, what's the rest of the culture and staff around there, and how do they lift those guys up? Outwardly, it looks nice. They're bringing some nice vets in there. It's cool, but it's going to be key to see how I think they'll be more competitive this year. But when those vets are gone, what's that team like? That's going to be the key to watch with the Wizards.
Do they have a point guard in the future yet?
Washington?
Yeah.
Could be Bub Carrington.
He feels like more of a 2. I don't know.
Yeah, he's more of a hybrid guard, but like,
But all these dudes are hybrid guards now. You know,
nowadays, Bub's got the skills to get in the paint. He's a guy to keep my eye on. Obviously, I watch a lot of the pick guys, but he's a guy to keep my eye on in summer league this year. How's he look? He should be dominating guys in summer league.
You know who's Washington's point guard? I just remembered. Marcus Smart.
Nah,
for the year, for half the year,
like for the future.
That's not a serious comment. Don't worry about
it. What y'all think the Pelicans are doing?
So I got asked about this today on Sports Grid.
Build around Trey Murphy. That's what you should.
And the person was like, "Would you take a bet on the Pelicans to make the playoffs?" And I said, "I can see it if you want to take a flyer because the odds are so good, but the West is so stacked." Because it's their world. If the Pelicans make the playoffs, it's because of one thing happened. Zion Williamson was healthy. I'm going to ask the question that Jarod asked about Joel Embiid. If I told you Zion Williamson played 40 games next year, would you be shocked?
Nope. In either direction.
And that's why I don't trust them. If they're healthy, if DeJounte Murray's healthy, Jordan Poole isn't doing Jordan Poole stuff, and understands
that's a big if.
and understands he's the fourth option. You know, I like Herb Jones. I like Trey Murphy, so I love their wings.
Listen, Jordan Poole, the only one in there that got a ring. He'd be like, I ain't taking a backseat to none of y'all MFers. I got a championship ring. Ain't none of y'all got one of these.
Yo, you're right. That's probably how Jordan Poole comes in the locker room and somebody got to punch him in the face and be like, you're Jordan Poole. So he'll be like, yo, I'm not advocating for him to get punched in the face. I know he's been punched in the face once. I'm just saying somebody might have to give him a little Draymond 2-piece to keep him in check. The problem is it's New Orleans, and there's nobody there that can do that.
Oh, my God.
You might go Jeremiah Fears here.
What a dumpster fire that's
Jeremiah Fears. I think he could be really good because he can get to his spots, but I also worry that he can be Dennis Smith Jr.
Another one.
Dennis Smith Jr. Oh,
his jump comparison. Jeremiah Fears' jumper is not there, but he's a very good free throw shooter, like 85%. But the 3-point shot is not there. But
I see a lot of Damian Lillard and like Jamal Murray in this game.
That's interesting.
I need the shot. I was watching his highlights.
Well, here it is. Jeremiah Fears, number 7 to the Pelicans.
Wow. Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Fears, number 7 to the Pelicans. I love Trey Murphy if he can stay healthy. I love Herb Jones if he can stay healthy. Like, this is the thing. The Pelicans have been the if they can stay healthy team for a while now. I love my guy, Jose Alvarado.
We know that short man king right there.
I don't know if he's necessarily. I mean, well, they did just extend
short man Puerto Rican king right there.
Oh, that's right. And Puerto Rican too. That's
he's not just Puerto Rican. He's the face of our national team.
Oh, look, our national team.
Until Julian Strother decides to fucking play.
Jamaica's national team is coming. I think people need to take notice that the Amen Thompson twins.
Yeah, I'm scared.
You got Isaiah Stewart.
I'm here for the Jamaican national team. You got to have one of our West Indian
Jamaican national team.
I would be rooting for them.
If they all play, that's the thing. Because this happens all the time. Guys always like, yeah, I'll play, and then they fucking don't. So they have to like be about it. But I think
I get so mad.
Yeah, it pisses me off. It pisses me off. Jeremiah Fears going number 7. I'm intrigued by this. So the Nets are on the board now.
Yep.
Best player available.
Block, you mean?
You gotta go the kid from Duke. Yeah. You gotta get the center from Duke.
Watch.
Yeah.
I like Malawatch, but
you can't teach that size.
Yo, man, these
you're gonna trade Nick Claxton.
Ice for my liking, bro. Where y'all get all that ice from, man?
You know where they get it from.
Oh, you talking about these dudes? You talking about these dudes buying these chains?
Yeah, man.
Yo, here's the thing. Somebody. Okay. This is where I sound old. Somebody's got to tell these young men. You don't have to spend your money on all this ice.
Yeah.
Before you even buy a crib. You know what I mean? And here's the problem. Some of these kids were NIL, they're already rich. So it is a different look now.
No doubt.
Because some of these dudes already got the bread.
They already got their bread.
I just want to let the guys, hey, if this is what you think is good, you don't need that to get the ladies.
Yeah, but Dex, he's not Haitian. If he was Haitian, he would not buy that.
Have you seen?
Maybe that's my Caribbeanness coming out.
He's not Caribbean.
Speaking of chains and coincidentally Haitians. Did you see Richardson Hitchens after he fucking won his last fight? He posted on his Instagram of him just being in the strip club. Like it was a slide. It was like, yo. Matter of fact, I'm gonna find this shit.
Why? Why would you post your Instagram and you be in a strip club? Why?
This is on topic since we're here. While the Nets,
me. I have a chain. I'm in the strip club. Never did this before. Okay.
While the Nets make their pick. So here's Richardson Hitchens, IBF.
Oh, he
140-pound champion.
And he got chains.
This is the day after, or the day after he won he retained his title, knocking out George Campbell.
Listen,
you're in the strip club. Why are you paying attention to the money?
I listen.
What are we doing?
Listen, man. I can't.
You pay attention to that.
Pixelated the thing.
Listen, man.
Look at how low his
I am clearly an old man because this type of.
What's the value of that? Oh, look at this. Richardson Hitchens is cool. He's in the strip club.
What is the value add right here? What is the value add?
What did I learn from this?
Come on.
I mean, you never knew what inside a strip club looks exactly like that.
Right. I mean, I've seen
exactly
them before.
Like that.
Like I've seen dudes with money in strip clubs before, making it rain. Like, okay. Like,
where was the other one? Did he delete the other post? Yeah, he deleted the other one. It was him buying the chain.
Could you go back to wait? How many people liked that post that was with him in the strip club? You just tell me. You don't have to bring it back up.
No, we'll bring it back up. It's fine. 4,442 apparently, including
y'all
Amanda
are part of the problem. Y'all are part of the problem.
That's the problem with society.
Coach Kelly Rich.
And to be honest,
yeah, to Coach Kelly Rich.
Maybe he ain't popular like that. I'm like, that's all you got for all that? 4,000 likes?
Look at the comments. Look at the comments. Falling for the same old tricks. Don't let them lead you astray, champ. Discipline and focus greater than impulse.
Don't let them lead you astray.
You leading yourself astray.
What are you talking about?
You dummy. You leading yourself astray. What the hell are you doing?
You're leading yourself astray by posting this.
You ain't ready for the fame and money. Why is this the most common path that people take for people who come from poverty take? Somebody says, because I ain't definitely ain't saying that. Who painted this as the accomplishment that every poor person should strive for? ? People,
society.
People don't seem to have waken up from the illusion.
The amplification of it. This is nothing but naked hedonism and consumerism.
All right,
we champion in this society.
We're doing
all people care about.
Okay, look, shout out to the sex workers. Sex workers, real work.
Listen, no doubt. I'm not mad. I got no problem with them.
I just got to bring it back to the other side.
I have no problem with them. Does he talking about let them lead him straight? They're doing their job, sir.
Yeah, they're doing it themselves.
Also,
lead you astray.
Also, Carmel Moulton, one of the biggest name prospects in boxing, Floyd Mayweather's protege, comments turned.
Oh.
All right, who did the Nets take, man?
Maluwak, man.
They did.
I would hope that the Nets could get Maluwak here, and then at 19 get Walter Jr.
We only at pick number 9, and it's 9:00. Pick number 8.
Yo, Jarod, imagine how I felt when I was hosting the NFL Draft Live show this year. We were like pick number 9, and it was, I don't even know, 10 o'clock.
Better you than me.
Oh, real quick, this is the potential of the Jamaican national team. Scotty Barnes, Devin Vassell, Isaiah Stewart, Norman Powell, and the Thompson twins. Like
I hope they all.
It's not a bad looking team. I'm just saying.
First, here's the thing: they need to, if they're gonna do that first, they need to qualify for some shit because they can't even qualify for the AmeriCup. And in order to do that, they're gonna need to win in these windows where NBA players are usually playing NBA games.
They all high-fiving and dapping each other up. Oh, God, Josiah's in the war room. Jesus. Never love when I see the owner in the war room. Never a good sign.
And Josiah is not somebody who loves to sit on the sideline. So.
Never a good sign. Hate when I see that, man.
Yeah. But Okay, we have our first surprise of the draft. Ew, I hate this pick. Hate might be strong.
Well, everybody talking about Dylan Harper's mom?
What?
Igor Demon with the 8th overall pick.
Wow. I don't know about that. I mean, I get why, but I think they should have took
friend of ours.
But maybe they got some kind of playing. 19. Did he play pro or does he play BYU?
Nah, he played BYU. He's like a 6'8" point guard. He's pretty good.
BYU.
I don't know about
a lot of boards had him late first round. So so I wonder what the thought was in doing that. Do the Nets think that whoever they could have got, they could get at 19, and they try to grab now because they heard he was going to go higher? Because I thought, okay, maybe Derek Queen was going to be in play for them here.
Yeah.
Malawak.
The draft I'm looking at had Igor going 17 in Minnesota.
There's no way I would have taken him.
I've seen him on I think John Hollinger. I'm looking at John Hollinger's.
Yeah.
No, Sam Facini, sorry. I have right here with me. He had him as his 26th ranked player.
Yeah, I think this is a mistake, man.
But I mean, listen, that doesn't mean anything. We get too caught up into what Sam Facini says. If the Nets had him high rated on their big board, as high as anybody else they had, that's all that matters. They did their evaluation. They have to trust their process. Who am I to sit here and say they're wrong on that? I have no idea.
It's not a bad pick. It's just like
The thing we got to remember about all this stuff is it don't matter what John Gavoni, Kevin O'Connor, it don't matter what none of these fools have about draft boards and best available. None of that shit matters, right? Where they have them ranked, because ultimately the question is, who is this player and does he fit where he's being drafted, and will he be developed to his potential? That's all. And guess what? Nobody knows the answer to that until it actually happens.
Right.
So you're getting tricked into looking at, he was 4 on certain people's draft board. So what? It doesn't mean he's the 4th best player. That's just what some rando told you. Important to him, he's the 4th best based on what?
Keeping in line with prospects who can't shoot. On volume at BYU, he was one of my least favorite prospects that could have been drafted in the lottery. I'm not going to lie to you. Igor, 27% on almost 5 threes a game in college, 41% from the field, one of the worst finishers of all the guards at the rim. Hardly a 70% free throw shooter on low volume because he didn't get to the line much. He's more of a pass first type of dude, if you want to call him that. He is 6'8", or 6'9" rather. He's from Moscow. However you feel about them. Like, I think
we love the Russians on this show. What are we doing?
That is sarcasm. Don't want to get banned.
No, it's not. Shout out Bricks. I love Russia.
Okay, well, yeah. He's talking about,
Shout out Bricks. Russia, Iran, down with all of them. I am. What? All those of you who aren't, I don't know. Go read a book and don't fall for Western propaganda. That's all I can tell you.
Ain't nobody watching this shit anyway. I think with this pick, it's just, I could see Sean Marks liking the skill set. Just 6'9", can move the ball, can dribble.
Hey, good. Listen,
we'll see about the defense.
I just tweeted to ask Nets fans what they think about the pick. I'm sure the people be like, I never heard of this guy. I don't know this guy. I mean, who cares?
Who cares if you never heard of him?
It doesn't matter. Like, it matters what and I'm, I'll have more answers on this and people I talk to around the Nets, but it matters what the Nets, how they had him ranked on their board and how they think he fits in terms
what they think his potential
of what they want. Yeah. To Jarod's point earlier, when you mentioned all the second round picks, I know he's a first round pick, but whatever. You know what? Forget that point. To all the second round picks that Jarod mentioned, but a first round pick, Jalen Williams. A lot of people did not know about Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams was the number 2 option at the 12th pick on a championship team. So
there you go.
Who cares? A lot of y'all weren't up on Jalen Williams. So
that's Santa Clara. That's right. Yeah. People don't watch Santa Clara. They should though.
But that goes back to the point, Brian.
Conker nipple after his rookie season in the Charlotte Hornets locker room. Look at this photo.
I mean,
I was gonna be Conker after being around the ball and Brandon Miller. If Malawak goes to the Raptors,
who?
If Malawak goes to the Raptors, that's amazing for Masai Ujiri.
Is it?
Yes, because you could just spin off Jakob Poeltl and actually I think Malawak.
Assuming Malawak develops.
I think he would develop in Toronto. He has a high ceiling. It's just obviously, you worry about dudes who are 7'2" just because feet, knees, ankles, all those different things. Malawach could be a beast. He's just super raw though, also, and he doesn't have the best hands.
I mean, all of what you just said. Do you know how long it's going to take for him to develop into? Forget about a net positive winning player, but just a player at the NBA level. That's a lot of work just to get to that point. Never mind, can you be a net positive player? Like that's like this is, and it isn't about you. This is about fans in general. You people just think, oh, show up and insert water, and all of a sudden, Sprout, yeah, you're a player. This is the hardest basketball league in the fucking world. Hard as shit to be good in this league. Like really hard.
Yeah.
One of my favorite stories is David Thorpe, my podcast partner, everybody knows, who player development godfather, who, by the way, had clients in these recent NBA finals, okay? So deals with and helps guys who play actual NBA finals level basketball. Told me one of his young prospects asked him, Coach, I want to, develop my handle more people using the game. How long do you think before I'm going to be ready? He said 4 years. 4 years to get handled good enough.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, you people think, whatever. It's just going to be 2 2s and we're there. Okay. Keep believing that nonsense. League's hard, man.
Let's see what we have. My guy Brandon Anderson from Action Network, who did the draft pods with me, he wasn't a fan of Igor either. He says the Nets just made what will most certainly be the worst pick in the draft. He's very definitive with his takes, which I respect. And he's
definitive not. How do you know this? Definitive based on what?
I mean,
nobody can say definitive. Nobody can. Clearly.
No, I'm saying definitive in his belief in the take.
I mean, so what is that? But
and look, his batting average is not low, so we'll see.
Look,
he also jokes. This is
right.
And hold on. Let me get this out there. He's like, Brooklyn had too many picks, so they just decided to give one back.
See,
whatever.
See,
you can guess 15 things, and guess what? One's probably gonna hit. Like, what does that mean? Like, you're just guessing. You're just throwing darts at a board.
Hey, I don't like the pick either. I'll be honest.
He's not a bad player. Just at 8, just might have taken him a little too early.
I'll tell you what.
But what if? See, I'm gonna remember this. Greg and everybody says that if at the beginning of the year we're like, yo, this guy's a rookie of the year.
I think he can play. It's just, you passed on a 7-1 big that could be a defensive player of the year candidate.
But whoa. Could. I just told you 4 years to develop defensive player of the year.
Yeah, at a certain point.
Yeah. And how many years till that point?
Yeah, everybody's not Victor Wembanyama.
I mean, it's not gonna be out the gate, but he can develop into the best centers in the league.
Give me a timeline. How long?
Maybe like 5 years.
But what if Igor?
It might take him 5 years to get on the court to be a quality player.
Nah,
be a defensive player of the year.
Not. Nah, I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, the Raptors are not taking Malawach. They are taking Colin Murray Boyles from South Carolina at number 9.
Really?
That's pretty surprising too.
Kind of reminds me of Julius Randle. I was watching this game.
That's a good comp. I
was about to say I like his game.
I've seen a lot of
said that shit.
I'm watching so many highlights of these dudes, and you know what I see? I see a bunch of dudes who can get their pockets picked in the NBA because their shit ain't tight and they not quick or fast enough. I'm like, I don't know what y'all like getting hyped off this joint at this level because you ain't doing that at the next level. Let me tell you right now.
I don't hate the Randall comparison, by the way, Greg. I think that's.
I actually like that comp, but this is something I tell Greg, and Greg always, will send me highlights of high school players. We're all trying to project what they can do at the next level, and then I have to run. But they all have to. We try to project what they can do at the next level, and it's like you don't know until you see them against other grown men and NBA defenses. It might look good in college, but you have no idea. There's also players that they struggle with some stuff in college, but their skill set translated better to the league. Sometimes you'll say a player, oh, they're not athletic enough, which I think is always generally overrated. I mean, listen, not being athletic enough had a lot of people pass on Luka Doncic, and you guys know this. I was screaming from the top of my lungs that Luka Doncic should have been the number 1 overall pick the year he got drafted, and people were like, you can't pass up on a 7'2" center in DeAndre Ayton. You could have, and you would have looked a lot better for it. Yeah, you can't pass up on 6'10" Marvin Bagley.
Sure can.
Stop. You could have, and you would have been better for it. Can't pass up on no defense Trae Young. You could have, and you would have been better for it. I'm just saying. Granted, I will say there were a lot of talent evaluators who were on this with me. Jonathan Gavoni was one of them. Said I would take Luka Doncic 100 times over, and people still talk themselves out.
I think that's different than the guys we're talking about, though. To be fair, because like there's never been an 18-year-old like EuroLeague MVP who was in position to be.
But but that's my point.
No. But I'm
passed over him.
No, I agree. But I'm saying like these guys haven't accomplished that. Like
no. Well, but to that point, Brian, these guys here don't have the resume. To your point, right? Which is why, can I really go crazy on the Nets pick? I don't know. Is he better or worse than Colin Murray Boyles? I don't know. I have no idea.
Both of those picks are pretty surprising to me. Gavoni tweeted out, one of them clips. Look, he's clearly athletic to some extent.
Look, man, he's a 6'8". He's a 6'8" point guard, and
this right here is just like he is not that good of a shooter. But we'll see. Maybe he could develop.
I know this is slow mo.
He's a taller Bogdan Bogdanovic. Seriously,
that's not. I mean, if you're tell me somebody's a taller Bogdan Bogdanovic,
I don't think. No, he's a different.
From Atlanta.
That thing, Bogdan's good.
Is that a bad player to get at 8? That's what I'm saying.
It's not.
It's not.
No, it's not. But I also don't think he's quite that because
Bogdanovic
can shoot.
I mean, this kid has a jumper too, and he can like set people up. He has great size at the.
He looks like a good passer. I'll say that.
He can definitely bother guards on defensive end. Like he's got talent.
That was an elite pass right there.
No, he's a good passer. He's a good passer.
You know what? Granted, I didn't watch a lot of him, and I watched a lot of BYU. But what I might say is he looks like the kind of guy where it's like, and I love this, Jarod. Good feel for the game. Yeah. I like players who have good feel for the game, and I think when you get enough of those guys around, that can work for you. So I like those guys.
I do think this draft is thinner though than people are like. There was a lot of hype about this draft potentially being like one of the best ones ever, but like a lot of the guys that people are excited about ended up going back to school because they're like, oh, we could take advantage of being in next year's draft instead, or NIL or whatever their reasons were.
There's a lot of value late though.
No, I think this draft is going to produce some good role players.
Yeah,
but I think some of the excitement waned once we saw some guys just go back to school. And next year's draft has reasons to be excited too.
My favorite pick is like probably going to go in the 20s. Danny Wolf.
Oh, okay. He's got a lot of people excited.
All right, guys. I have to run and hop on another show. Brian, I will see you later on the Post Live show.
Yes. Appreciate
Jarod,
you for popping in.
Stay sane. Greg, stay cool. Don't be mad out here in the heat.
Yeah, man. Don't be getting all mad, Greg.
It's hard not to, bro.
We'll go for a little bit longer here, but catch Dex and I later at the post live stream. We'll be recapping round 1.
Shoot, man, y'all be doing that. I'm gonna be in REM stage 3 at that hour.
Gerard, I'm jealous. I'm mad. All right, y'all. Enjoy that AC.
All right, man.
He said enjoy that. Oh, my AC's on. Fuck that. I kept that on. It is. Let's see. We're at 10 now.
Jesus, this is taking like forever. I just
they gotta draw it out.
There is a proposed trade, as a matter of fact. Okay. There was a proposed trade, but we know because we know the number 10 overall pick is not.
It already happened.
It's not going to Houston because of the Kevin Durant deal. This is actually going to go to your Phoenix Suns, not yours, but just
are they getting what's his face? Your 7-1 center that Greg thinks is going to be a DPOY candidate in 5 years.
Which look, it's possible. I think they should get Malawatch.
I'm just saying, like,
and you know
you
what?
can't teach that size.
They have
Agreed.
gotten
You know what I'm
common
saying?
Malawatch. This is
You
the
can't teach that size, man.
now. Look, there's been reporting from weeks, if not months, about the Suns wanting a center. They didn't get one in the Durant trade, which Jarod we talked about, and I was like,
You
they'll
got
probably
one
circle
now.
back and get
Yeah.
one into the draft. This is for them. You can say what you want on paper, and look, Malawatch is raw. I think he has a
Very,
top
very
5
raw.
ceiling in this draft. I don't know if he reaches that ceiling, but the ability, like big dude who can protect the rim, potentially shoot, could be a pick and roll
Can
and
shoot the
pick
three.
and pick and roll and pick and pop partner.
Lob
potentially.
threat.
He's just raw.
Yep.
South Sudanese, great story, and like this is like a dream scenario for the Suns. Devin Booker has a pick and roll partner, pick and pop partner, but he's raw, and I don't think he's going to be like right away instant.
So
I wouldn't like if he.
you
I wouldn't be
realize-
surprised if he's not on all rookie like right away, but he's probably going to have to be because he's going to play a lot. So we'll see.
You realize that you contradicted yourself in that one sentence, right? In
Saying
that
what?
he is Devin Booker's pick and roll partner, but he's raw. Do you know how hard it is to play pick and
They
roll?
don't have another one.
No,
I
I
think
understand
Brian
that.
means raw as in like offensive overall. He's not
Yeah, like
coming
he's not a
polished,
super
but-
polished guy, but he can screen.
But the
and rim
potential is
run.
there.
Yeah, he
He
could be a lob threat.
He can cause havoc on defense too.
Like,
Who was better in college, Zach Edey or this dude?
probably Zach Edey.
I'm not a Zach Edey guy, but it
Yeah.
probably was Zach Edey because
Zach
Zach
Edey.
Edey
Okay.
was way more productive.
And
But that's college basketball.
okay, and Zach Edey struggled as a rookie.
Yeah, because he's like 8'9" and he can't fucking move like that. Like
Yeah,
Listen, all I want to say is that
Malawatch is better footwork.
teaching guys how to play
yeah,
is fucking hard.
yeah. You're
No,
not wrong on that.
It is hard.
You're not wrong on that.
Yeah,
It's,
I mean,
but it's almost like when Detroit took the Jalen Duren.
Whoa!
Took him.
hold on. We have a trade. Charlotte Hornets are trading Mark Williams to the Suns for 29 and a future first. So there you go. Two
big.
centers. Two centers for Phoenix.
Yeah, coming to the paint now.
Congrats, Phoenix. You still ain't making the playoffs, but congratulations.
They got two centers.
Wait.
Two centers. You got two centers
Oh.
and three ball dominant guards. Congratulations, Phoenix. You are going to be a lottery team next year. Woohoo!
Wait, so Malawach is going to the Rockets?
No.
Is he?
No. He's supposed to go to Phoenix because part of the Kevin Durant trade, Phoenix gets the number 10 pick
Got it.
from Houston. So
All right.
he'll wear the stupid Rockets hat because
But
we
he's
still
going.
don't, we,
He's going.
we haven't figured that shit out. But yeah,
He's
he's
going
gonna
Phoenix.
go. He's gonna go to the Suns.
That's because, folks, the new league season does not start until July 1, and all trades can't be official until July 6th. That's
So
why they have to
stupid.
play this farce game.
Still stupid. We all know it's stupid. Okay, Mark Williams for number 29 overall and a future first round pick.
It's not terrible.
That's that 2029 pick for the Hornets getting from Phoenix.
It's going to be good because Phoenix going to be trash in 29. Phoenix going to be trash this year.
I like that.
Yeah, I like how you guys are just foreshadowing the trash. Like
No, it's inevitable.
4 years from now.
But Greg,
Yeah,
that is what smart teams do.
yeah.
They figure out who is
Plan for
going
the
to be
future.
garbage 4 years from now, and they go, I want those picks.
Yeah,
That's what you
smart. That is smart.
Question: Nick Richards and Mark Williams reunion?
Oh yeah, he was in
So
Charlotte.
what's
Got 78 centers on this roster. The Phoenix don't have no idea what that is. I have no idea. No idea.
I'm
Hey,
like
when they
Phoenix
bring
needs
them
a
back together.
center, and it's like they have two.
Now they got four. Now they got four centers. No man, this team's
I don't
hot
know.
garbage.
Okay, I guess.
Hot garbage. Devin Booker, come on down. You're
Ask-
like, yo, man.
Ask out. ask
Booker
out.
on the phone to Matt right now, like, yo, bro, what you doing?
He doesn't want to leave though. I don't know why.
I know.
He ain't
I know.
gonna want to stay with this garbage, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I agree, Jarod. I think it's gonna be tested, is what
Yeah.
I'll say.
And when I say garbage, I'm not calling players garbage, but the collection of talent they have right now is
Team
not
construction is not good.
correct. It is not set up in any way to win currently.
As a quick aside, we have 2 home runs from Juan Soto today.
There you go.
How about that?
Are the Mets
Soto unloads one to
Let's
right
go.
center field, headed toward the wall, and it's out of here.
Almost robbed that one,
Wait,
but not.
Brian,
really.
are you jumping out the window with this this recent slide of 10 games loss?
not quite 10, but I didn't know. I don't jump out. Baseball doesn't make me jump out the window
Like it's June.
until later. Yeah, it's too early.
But I did ask Dex this question on the post. How many World Series winners have lost 10 games in a row during the season?
Yeah. It doesn't sound good.
That's all I'm asking.
Was it 10 in a row? Did it get to 10? I don't think it got.
It was 10. I think it was 10 out of 11.
Whatever.
It's still not good though.
Point is, how many World Series winners have had?
But we got hit hard with a lot of injuries, and then certain guys not playing up to potential.
Yeah, Alvarez has had a rough year.
Mark Fonseca got hurt.
Pitching started.
Senga got hurt.
You know what I mean? This is funny from my boy Fiddle, who I work with at Action. Also, Mark Williams and Nick Richards reunited with the heart emoji. I know he's being sarcastic. The Mets lost 7. Yeah, it's 10 of 11, 7 in a row, and then got it back together. I mean, in baseball,
you can make that up though.
Yeah, it's just more like that kind of period of like everything going wrong suggests to me you can have another one of those in the worst time possible, which would be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
we're still interviewing Malawatch on the broadcast, bro.
He's crying right now.
I mean, look, he's a great story from a
the whole family
interest standpoint. So I'm with all that. It's just more like, okay, but you have a win now superstar, 2 win now superstars in Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. How does he help?
I don't know what they're gonna do with those guys, but I'm high on this kid.
I wonder if Malawatch plays in Afrobasket this summer. I doubt it, but man, South Sudan, they are here. They're the best in Africa right now. Not even close.
They got a ton of athletes.
Not even close. Wayne Gabriel, Carlik Jones. God, man. South Sudan is not playing. All right. We are 10 picks in. We got one trade. We got Mark Williams. The Suns are scrambling, trying to figure shit out. Malawatch, who Greg and I like more than Jarod, is going 10.
I don't dislike Malawatch.
No, you just have questions, which I think are warranted.
Jarod, so who's your guy in this draft? Like, what kid do you think has the potential to actually?
I already mentioned him to start the show, and he hasn't been picked yet.
Who?
My guy, Cedric Coward.
Yeah, that's right.
He's a sleeper.
It's going to be a little bit, but yeah, Coward's good.
Yo, I was looking at his game. I'm seeing Chris Middleton, Alec Burks. Yeah, there's a lot of potential there, but he's got to get better on.
Oh, well, we don't have to wait much longer.
Bryan
Cedric Coward.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is being traded. Wait. Portland is trading him at number 11 to the Memphis Grizzlies.
Wow.
Jarod, this is pretty much your squad. Wow. Cedric Coward's going to Memphis. Say what you want about the Grizzlies.
Love it.
They draft pretty well over there, Memphis.
Yeah,
we draft well. Pretty well.
Desmond Bane, Brandon Clark.
They draft and develop pretty well. Yeah,
I like this kid a lot. I think he can step in and contribute right away. Look, Jalen Wells last year, by the way, rookie, excellent. So he's going to summer league, all things with Jalen and everybody.
And Cedric is a senior. He's coming in kind of polished and ready to go.
I like older players who have a lot of game experience under their belt from good programs. So he knows how to play pick and roll, right? Because he's run it at least, 10,000 times in his life. Your boy Malawatch?
I like that Coward is 19 going into Memphis, because I do feel like they need guys who are not just ready from their game standpoint, but also just like mentally, like they need guys who are like, yo, I know what I am, I know what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean?
I do wonder if you're Memphis though. You traded Bane? We know that happened. Is that it? Like are you?
Yeah. What else is next?
Because we've talked about the John Morant thing, and I get it. The Memphis fan base will scream bloody murder and might light the city on fire if they ever traded John Morant. My issue, Greg, and I told it to Bryan, your franchise player cannot be someone who is not available.
Yeah.
Take away the
John Morant, right?
Take away the gun stuff. Just forget that didn't even exist.
Correct.
Last season, when he was healthy, he did not play 5 consecutive games once that entire season. That's not good. That's just not good.
All right, let me ask you this, because I've been saying that this should be a trade. Do you think a swap for John Morant to Trae Young could work?
I don't.
The problem is that God, Ja is also a sieve on defense, but Trae Ja can at least get steals.
Because Trae is a little more stable,
but I don't. You know what the thing is, though,
Trae is more available, but he is a sieve on defense, a literal sieve.
I don't think it's a trade that solves problems for either side,
and it doesn't really solve right.
Yeah, I kind of think it puts you in.
I mean, it does in the sense that Trae is more available. So from an availability standpoint, yes. But as your point of attack and in a playoff series, you have someone you're hunting every single time.
Yeah, and then if you're Atlanta, it's like, no, Trae makes a lot more sense with Porzingis, who you just got. Why am I putting John Morant with him? You know,
Ja can't shoot.
And I'm not even making the jokes about John Morant in Atlanta, which some people will go, but or some people will, make jokes about that. But yeah, I mean, but Cedric Howard, man, I mean, this is
I like it.
He's going to be a 2-3, probably a 3, definitely a 3. Yeah. He had a season-ending injury, shoulder injury, so I'm concerned about that. And
but shoulder, that doesn't bother me as much as like some.
I'm surprised he was picked this high, even despite that. But
he knows how to work because he came from a low D1 and worked his way up to Washington State.
Mr. Washington, knows how to work.
Yeah. Knows how to work, and he made 72% of his 2-point shots.
He's very efficient. Very good rebounder.
That means he knows how to take his excellent shots. He takes good shots. He's not a center. He's not a power forward.
Yeah.
Right. Those are those kinds of positions numbers. 2-point shots.
Is Cedric Howard the black Con Knipple?
I mean, he might be better than Con Knipple.
Better than Con?
I mean, let's be honest.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of slept on Con Knipple.
No, because I'm saying similar impact where you expect them to be good at everything.
Yeah.
I want to know what this trade is though with the Blazers and the Grizzlies. That's we know Cedric Howard's going from Portland to Memphis, and
is that a real Shams account or is that
no? This is legitimate. This is Bobby Marks reposting it too, and Bobby Marks didn't get hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray. Run a buck. I want to know the full details of this trade, so we're looking to figure out what's going on here.
What did Malika do?
What did she do?
Because Trey just said, Malika, WTF, man.
Oh. Here's some news on the Pacers. Hold on, I'm putting it in the chat.
Yeah. She by accident apparently she said Colin Cowherd.
Well, you got Colin Cowherd on the brain. Oh boy.
She is married to a white dude. Anyway,
I knew you was about to say that, and that's what all your little Twitter friends are gonna say too. It's
we're deep into this. We're not doing the entire first round.
Look, man, it's already getting to that point where I'm starting to get punchy. It's 9:30. It's already past my bedtime, dog. Like,
what time do you go to bed?
I go to bed early, bro.
We'll end at the top 15. How about that?
What number we at now?
We just did 11. We're about to do 12.
Oh, bro.
4 more picks.
Lottery.
That's 10 o'clock. That's 10 o'clock.
Lottery's 14. We'll do the lottery. Lottery's 14. We'll do that, especially because my food just got here. So,
yo. I mean, you just tap out now and eat your food, man.
Yo, it's hilarious. I literally scouted like 25 players.
Corey Waldron says, Wendy said, keep a close eye on the Pacers. Mather and Toppin, I believe, are on the block.
It's very interesting.
Really?
It's very interesting, especially
and Ian Bagley says, FSU's Jameer Watkins definitely has some fans with the Knicks organization, but will he be there at 50? ? Okay. This is Windy said Matherin and Toppin.
No, he probably just said like,
or he just said keep a close eye on the Pacers, and Corey surmised it because Corey covers the Pacers. All right, whatever. Back to Colin Cowherd, I suppose.
You wildin' right now.
12th overall pick is being made by the Bulls, and Chad Millman, who I did the favorites with on Action. He's our chief content guy at Action Network. So shout out to Chad. He's a Bulls guy. He asked about Derek Queen. Have you seen much of Derek Queen, Jarod?
Nope. Tell me about Mr. Queen.
Black Elprin Şengün ? He has an interesting offensive game where I think he could be really good within the first few years, or he's out of the league in like 5-6 years because no one can figure out what to do with an offensive-minded center. Who defense is a question.
His teammates call him the Black Jokic, baby Jokic.
Listen, that is a
see, I didn't want to do that because now Jarod's gonna turn on him.
Because you can't. Yo, already would have been
honestly. He's Al Jefferson. He's Al Jefferson.
Out here talking about Black Jokic. Come on, man.
He's Al Jefferson. He's Al Jefferson.
Al, one of the great,
like Zach Randolph. Like he has a knack for scoring. He has a knack for scoring.
Yeah, he can
fill it up.
The thing is, he might be undersized for the center spot because he's like maybe 6'10", maybe 6'10",
6'9",
You know,
But listen, it all depends what kind of system you play, right?
Yeah.
Like the Warriors won 4 championships with Draymond Green at center, right? Like it just depends. I mean, yes, they have Steph Curry too, that helps. Kevin Durant, but like it depends on how do you maximize strengths and minimize weaknesses within your system.
Yeah.
We have to trade.
Okay.
The details. So, trade summary. Cedric Howard's going to Memphis, going back to Portland, number 16 overall, a future first in 2028, and 2 second-round picks. So that's
probably
kind of a lot.
Probably those Orlando picks. Might be those Orlando picks, or what? You know, one of the ones that got
the first one, the first round, maybe. That's interesting. It sounds like a lot on the surface, but that tells me
they believe in Coward and they have a plan and they know that he fits exactly what that the system's going to be. And
Memphis has a good team.
Yeah,
on paper. I have questions about Ja still long term because
of course, who doesn't?
It's an archetype for me that doesn't work. Mm-hmm. If he's the A1 guy. Because it's the hyper athletic guard who's an injury question mark, who's not playing back to backs, who can't really shoot consistently well, and is a target on defense.
Yep.
If I want a number 1 next to Jaren Jackson Jr., I would want some of the Ja stuff, but I'd want them to be more of a knockdown shooter.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
Or at least a more respectable one. That's why, like, Ja has star quality, but like, he's already not playing back to backs like that. He's 25. How does this get better?
I have all the same concerns. I'm still worried about his development because him not being able to shoot it's not a new thing. We've known this. I expected when he came back off of his suspension from the gun stuff that he'd be back like as a very good shooter, or at least someone who's more willing to take, and he's the same. So,
we have another trade. Shams again. Pels are moving. Pels are getting the number 13 overall pick, which is going to happen right now. Hawks getting back the 23rd overall pick and an unprotected first next year. Don't know who owns that first.
That means the Pels see someone they like.
When Woes was doing this, we would know who the pick is from originally.
Oh, here we go. None of this matters. Who cares?
No, you're right.
Woes or not? Who cares? Who cares?
I know. I'm just having fun. We're getting punchy now.
Yeah,
also, Daryl Morey says Joel Embiid very engaged in rehab, expected to be ready right around training camp, not before training camp.
Shock of all shocks, the Morey tweet comes out. Or the Morey, I mean, come on,
engaged in burgers,
right? I mean, I would hope he's engaged in rehab. What the fuck else is he doing?
This might be one of the most disappointing, first team all centers ever. Like
Derek Queen. Number 13 to New Orleans.
Yeah, there you go. It's your guy.
What is this roster?
Listen.
Zion and this kid now? That's interesting.
Did we miss the number 12 pick? Who did the Bulls get?
What are any of these
took Noah, the French kid.
Esenge?
Esenge.
Okay.
You know what's funny? I wrote it in my notes. Think Mitchell Robinson summer mixtape. That's his game.
He can't. He's another guy. He cannot shoot.
Sound great.
He cannot shoot. Listen, this is the thing with the international prospects this year. I'm pro international guys all the time. I'm always higher on these dudes from France and Spain and Australia and different parts of the world. But this year, these guys can't shoot. So it's like, okay, what are you really getting? Like,
he's putting the ball on the floor.
This is the dude who also left his team, who's in the German League finals, to get drafted. like in the middle of the finals to be here as opposed to finishing out, and that rubbed people the wrong way because typically that doesn't happen. He's toolsy, he's athletic, he's 6'10", he's not even 200 pounds.
Jump out the gym.
Yes.
He's like a more talented Tyrus Thomas.
Oh boy.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I know Tyrus Thomas is pretty fucking talented.
What you're saying is he can't play. That's what you're saying.
He can
there's talent there.
Because when people say toolsy, talented, all that means, but can he play the game?
You know what he is, Jarod? He's a hipster NBA favorite. And because of the athleticism and all these different things, but I don't know, man.
6'10".
Like, I don't know. He listen, all these guys, we're gonna look back and there's guys that look, people thought Cam Reddish was gonna be Tracy McGrady. That's not even a joke.
But
these guys with tools can go wildly in either direction.
No doubt.
Guys you least expect.
This is why I'm saying the best player in this draft is someone we probably haven't even mentioned once on this podcast, on this show yet.
Yeah.
That's just how this stuff works.
Could be Cedric Coward for all
That's just
we
how
know.
this
Could
stuff
be
works.
Liam McNeely.
Cedric Coward, you know who people think Cedric Coward is going to be like? And a comparison that I think actually makes sense? Jalen Williams. But before the draft, because now people are saying Jalen Williams is Scottie Pippen. Jalen Williams is this. No one was saying that.
People weren't saying that. This is my point. Nobody, when he got drafted, they were like, what's Oklahoma City doing? That kid sucks. An all-star, second best player on a championship winning team. Like
no one knows.
We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. Absolutely right. It's a crapshoot.
Literally. But it doesn't have to be. Because if you're a team that knows what you're doing, Oklahoma City knew what they were doing. They saw this in Jalen Williams. That's why they took him where they did.
Yep.
But most teams, they stupid as shit. And they don't see anything. No, they are. That's why they are where they are.
We're getting some trades. So this is fun. We'll do a little bit longer. We're not going to do the entire first round. See what happens.
We already talked about this one.
No. I'm saying we've gotten some now. After
I'm like, what trades you talking about?
We've gotten like 3 or 4. So I'm happy. I'm happy about that. Now I'm getting WNBA lineup alerts. Oh, did I set my fantasy team? Yeah, I did. WNBA fantasy's kicking my ass. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
ESPN fantasy sucks. That's why. Can't even set your lineups automatically. You have to manually do it.
We're in the fucking 1800s.
Maybe I gotta get the app, but it's just
annoying.
Yahoo's the best, but Yahoo doesn't have WNBA fantasy. They don't have WNBA fantasy.
Yeah, they gotta fix that.
Unless I'm mistaken, I could be dead wrong. Somebody educate me, but yeah. Derek Queen, that's interesting. I like Derek Queen, but I don't know if I like him for the Pelicans, Jarod, to your point.
I'm watching some Derek Queen highlights right now.
You're not feeling it?
Again,
I don't like him there.
I'm looking at that stuff to translate to the next level.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not saying it won't happen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't know if he's in the right environment, though.
Yeah. I thought he would have been good on the Bulls, actually, because he can grow.
I mean,
he doesn't make sense with Zion. I'll tell you that.
So Zion is what everybody would agree when he was drafted was a can't miss short, right? The most hyped prospect since LeBron James.
Yeah.
How'd that work out, by the way?
Remember, I was telling you, I think he's an overrated prospect because injury concerns, and
he
also
peaked in high school,
and also because I don't think he's ever gonna he's not gonna get in amazing shape. I'm trying to talk around it, but
just say it. It's fine.
And the shooting too. It's the irony is people like him when he's point Zion because he can get downhill easier.
Yeah.
But I just have so many questions, and I had questions about Ja too, but less so. I felt like he was going to be a more elite passer than he is, but he's as good as I thought he would be. It's just we have questions also.
So to your point, I don't think New Orleans is the right environment given their track record. Now, to be fair, the Pelicans have a new front office staff because what's his face is gone, David Griffin. So, Joe Dumars and company are now running things over there. We'll see.
We'll do a couple more picks.
Oh man, I thought it said Atlanta 7-1. I was like, what the hell? It's Mets 7-1. I was like, y'all dummies losing again.
No, remember Soto got the 2
That's
home
right.
runs.
That's why I was like, but Soto got 2 home runs.
I don't know if I like this fit, but we'll see.
Jarod, you're a Yankees fan?
No. I like them. I mean, I hate baseball now, but I grew up a Mets fan, so. And I keep telling the guys that they've been slowly roping me back in the last few seasons, but then they fuck up. So I do my Al Pacino Godfather. Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
So now you're trying to moonwalk out of it and then come back later.
But that's the beauty of being an adult, right? I tell people all the time. You don't gotta be giving your loyalty to these teams that don't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
When they trash, I'm not watching. Goodbye.
It's funny because like I would do the same thing with the Knicks. Like when they're bad, I would just not watch. And then people try to say, "Yeah, you're not a real Knicks fan." It's like, bro, I've been watching Knicks for 20 years. Like,
what does it
I've
mean?
earned the right
Not
to
a
do whatever I
real
want.
whatever fan. What does it even mean?
I've earned the right to do whatever I want.
That's right. And it's fandom. It's you can do whatever you want with fandom.
It's just like the Jets. They were trash last year. Now we got Justin Fields. We got a black coach.
See, now you're
I'm
like,
back
all
in.
right, I'm gonna rock with them.
I want to see what happens.
But they start messing up. You can be like, I'm out.
I'll go back.
It's fine. Nothing wrong with that, man.
It's real easy. Like,
It's real. And guess what? It makes your quality of life so much better.
Exactly.
This is funny. This is a Jarod style tweet with front office from Ryan Blackburn, who covers the Nuggets. With front offices like New Orleans, you cannot tell me Denver can't take advantage of someone stupid this offseason.
Bro,
Damn.
listen, let me tell you guys right now, the majority of people in the NBA are actually shitty at the job they are hired to do.
Vasily Micic is traded in that.
What they are good at.
Wait. What? Micic was just on the Hornets. He got traded to the Suns in the Richards deal, I think, and now he's back to the Hornets.
Greg, be out here worrying about inconsequential players. Like, who cares? Now,
you're right. You're right.
Is this dude gonna be helping nobody win? No, nothing. But my point is, you know what these people are good at, though? They are good at keeping their job. Now you might be like, Jarod, how are you bad at the job you were hired for, but you're good at keeping it? Because keeping your job in the NBA isn't about performing the job that you were hired for. It's about sucking up to power and the people who control your job. You are good with the owner and do whatever. Guess what? You're going to keep your job for life. That is your tradition. Not actually being good at GMing. No, that shit don't matter.
Oh, actually,
that's a lot of places, to be honest with you. That's not NBA specific. That's workplace.
Right?
How do you guys feel about the
power
trade?
We talked about it yesterday. Of all the places to go, I like it because of the defensive culture around him. Yeah. And for Houston, they didn't have to give up none of their young talent. Not
interesting. Because I'm like, yo, if you feel that comfortable giving them Jalen Green, that means you got an embarrassment of riches.
And it's because
like you still kept Amen, you still got Cam Whitmore and Jabari. It's crazy.
And to me, and Tari Eason,
yeah.
Jalen Green does all the things that gets the kids excited, right? He's a mixtape king.
Circus act.
Right. Ask me if Jalen Green can actually play basketball, winning basketball.
Yeah.
We know the answer to that. That's a no thus far. Now, he is young. Maybe he'll grow into it. He has
23.
time to develop all that. He got time. Yeah. But I think for them, this is a brilliant move. Brilliant. Yeah. Because when they have to pay Ahmed and everybody else, guess who won't be on the team anymore? Kevin Durant. So it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And it's like, even though I like Jalen Green, he might potentially morph into Zach LaVine, where it's like you're a scorer with a lot of talent, but we don't know if he could win with you.
There's a lot of these types of guards around the league.
But
Anthony Simons is one of them.
Right?
Tyler Hero's one of them.
The NBA loves and teams love to pay out the wazoo for players like that. And you know who they don't like to pay for? Although now I guess they get it. They don't see the value in drafting and developing guys like Drew Holiday and Derek White. We don't need to pay those guys. Yeah. No, actually you do. Those are the guys that help you win. Not Jalen Green and Anthony Simons. But
this kid that just got picked, Carter Bryant.
Yep.
Potential Trey Murphy clone.
He's another hipster NBA draft favorite. He is going to San Antonio. God. Number 14.
What are the Spurs doing, man?
But why is the NBA helping out the Spurs so much?
This is a good pick.
It is a good pick.
On paper, of course.
Yeah. But you can shoot the three. Good size.
I trust the Spurs more than the Pelicans.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of.
I posted Sam Facini's tweet earlier. We might need the league to take over New Orleans basketball franchise again. I don't know what they're doing.
What you doing, bro? Like, what you doing?
Eating beignets.
Look at this. Ryan Russillo, Pelicans giving up next year's pick is insane. Yeah, so 2026 pick is unprotected. The Pelicans.
But you see,
the Pelicans.
This is how, guys. This is how Sam Presti built that juggernaut that is Oklahoma City. This type of shit right here.
Yeah.
Getting teams to give up, because again, most people cannot see that 3 to 4 year window when the shit crashes inevitably and when they're terrible, right? I don't care about no 2026 first round pick because we're trying to win, in 2023. Okay. But when you trash, you're going to wish you had that 2026 first round pick. Well, now you know, and it's unprotected. Now it's ours, right? This is, again, all it takes is there. I told you, there are so many unintelligent and poorly run franchises around the league who are waiting to be fleeced. Waiting. Just call them. They'll give away their entire future. And you don't even got to give them that much. They're out there. Just call them.
Yo, Brian, that last link I sent you has the Paul George trade that pretty much set up OKC's championship roster. It's crazy.
But that was the brilliant move, right? No other GM would have traded Paul George coming off of a year where you made the playoffs. Yeah. Presti was like, this ain't sustainable long term. Give me Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who we think has the potential to be a future MVP, and 85 million picks, and we're good. And the Clippers were like, are you kidding me? Paul George?
Doc Rivers actually didn't want to trade Shai Gilgeous initially.
Doc knew. Yeah. But people get so – Paul and Kawhi?
Yeah, names.
How'd that work out?
Yeah.
Not so good.
Can't stay healthy.
Not so good. And again, it was the picks that turned into Jalen Williams, right? And it's what can I say?
Man.
Listen, if you are a team and Sam Presti calls you, hang up the phone. Hang up the phone.
And OKC still has picks. That's the funny part.
Yes. Hang up because he's gonna take all your shit. Yeah. Hang up the phone.
He's like the new Danny Ainge.
I can't believe.
Here's the thing. Danny Ainge is not even good. He's better than Danny Ainge. Yeah. He's better than Ainge.
Yeah.
Danny Ainge is not good.
Danny Ainge is fine, but Danny Ainge gets so much.
Sam is probably the best GM in basketball right now.
Who?
Sam Presti.
Oh, without question.
By far. He's got to be the best GM in basketball.
Ainge is still living off that freaking.
When
they fleeced the Nets for okay, great.
That was a long time ago.
Right, wonderful. He hasn't done shit since.
And he failed to fleece the Knicks too for Donovan Mitchell.
Correct.
Yeah.
Look at this trade, man.
Pelicans.
The Hawks. The Hawks fired Landry Fields and made this awesome trade.
Who's their GM now?
I don't even remember. I'll look. Nuggets just introduced a new president. It's crazy. Like, Onsi Salah.
At what point, because how old is Jokic? 29? Nikola Jokic.
29 or 30.
He is.
Curious about where you're going with this.
He's 30. Well, he is firmly in his prime. Arguably the best basketball player in the world. But I'll give it to Shai right now because he won the title.
Sure.
Jamal Murray is who Jamal Murray is. Michael Porter Jr. is who Michael Porter Jr. is, sadly. How are you going to maximize the Nikola Jokic window? I don't think you're maximizing it with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. I mean, and Michael Porter Jr.
I think we overstate his alleged lack of competitiveness.
Who?
Jokic.
Oh, he's uber competitive.
Yeah, I think people are like, oh, he just wants to ride horses and shit. It's like, no, that dude wants to win.
Oh, no doubt.
That dude.
Now, what he may not do is go public and say, get me the F out of here or whatever. He may not do that. But make no mistake, he's talking to the ownership group and be like, I want to win. Put people around me who can win. And what I'm saying to you right now is, I don't think that the pieces to win are there. But no, I do know they're not because they didn't. Right? Like, I know they're not there. And I don't know if Christian Braun and Peyton Watson and Strong, maybe they are, and maybe a new coach developed, maybe because they gave the job to what's his face, right, to Adelman. So maybe he develops them. I don't know. I just, you have a generational player you're never going to see ever again in the history of your franchise. It is criminal to not do everything you can to put the best situation around him. And if you're not going to do that, you got to trade him.
There's an off-record conversation we could have about that because I can't say what I want to say.
Anybody listening, just say it.
No, because it's I know somebody who covers them closely, and he suspects some things. But hey, anyway, Thomas Sorber from Georgetown. Georgetown bigs aren't quite what they used to be, but he's going to the Thunder. This is another big. This is gearing up for the post Isaiah Hartenstein era.
Yo, I looked at his tape.
He's
Jaren
interesting.
Jackson Jr. or Andrew Bynum.
Listen, bro. You gotta stop throwing out.
That's what he looks like.
Greg is an optimist giving best case scenarios.
I'm not saying he's going to be that. I'm just saying that's what he looks like when I watch his tape.
You know,
athletic. He can shoot the three. Put the ball on the floor.
Jarod would rather
agile.
Jarod would rather do the NBA draft.net comparison.
Basketball? Yeah.
Okay, the NBA draft on what?
The NBA draft.net comparison that I saw, which was Walter Clayton Jr., could be Cameron Payne.
Hell no.
Cameron Payne was a lottery pick.
no, but that's not who I don't know. When I see when I watch Kemba Walker, honestly.
No, but Kemba Walker was like an all-star mad times. I don't know if Clay is going to be that.
You telling me Thomas Sorber Jr. is going to be a defensive player of the year and an all defense multiple times?
No. I'm just looking at the tape. That's all I see from the tape. Just from the tape. Not saying he could be that, but that's like his play style right now. Scoring center.
Look, listen. Going to that team and that team's development system,
he will
have every opportunity to be the best version of himself. To Brian's point, they are getting ready for the post-Hartenstein era.
Yeah,
because ultimately, when Hartenstein's contract is up and he's ready for another deal where they're going to have to pay more money, and the Thunder go, yeah, we can't do that. Guess who'll be waiting in the wings?
He'll be ready to go.
In theory, will be this kid.
And he'll play.
Yes. You'll give him every option. What he's going to do is he's going to play Summer League. He's going to go down to the Oklahoma City Blue and play a ton. Yeah. That's what they do. They utilize their G League system because they run the same offense up and down, the same system up and down, right? Again, guys, none of what Oklahoma City is doing is revolutionary and nobody can't do it. Every other franchise can do the same thing.
They're just being smart.
Right? They're just being smart. That's all.
Yeah.
Just doing their jobs.
Yeah. I like his game.
Sorber's good.
Yeah, I like his game.
But he's better because of who drafted him.
Yeah.
For some organizations, that matters.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like when the Spurs make picks, you just feel like it's
for all players it matters. Who drafts matters from most players.
Spurs, Grizzlies, Heat, Celtics.
Low key to Knicks. Knicks been hitting on their late first rounders last couple years.
We'll see what the three that they got last year.
They ain't played much, so I don't know if they're any good.
Well, that's Tibbs.
I like
Hawk Purdy.
I like Hawk Purdy. I don't know about Dadia yet. And Kolek, I think Knicks fans are a little too high on Kolek, but that's just me.
Offensively, he looked lost, but I mean, Deuce McBride looked lost when he was brought up here. And look what he is.
I just don't. When does Kolek never? When is the point that Kolek doesn't become a target on defense?
Oh, here he is.
He's good. It's good, but that's never going to change. Maybe you know. Can he get to Peyton Pritchard level to compare a small white dude to a small white dude?
We got 5 minutes before I turn into a pumpkin. So we should wrap.
We'll give it a couple.
We're at 15. No, we're done, man.
15. Yeah, Thomas. Who has the 16th pick? As a matter of
Memphis on the clock from Orlando, or is that the one they traded because they got what's his face?
So this might be for Memphis.
No, so. Well, didn't Memphis get what's his name?
Bane. Oh,
no. my guy,
trade. Coward. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I bet this pick now is to whoever got Coward for them.
Correct. I think because this isn't going to Memphis, you probably won't care.
Don't care. Don't care who it is. Don't care who it is.
I think we can wrap it there. We did 15 picks. We got some trades. We did some analysis. Jarod stayed for very long.
Yeah, man. That's right.
You know.
Old men being bed at this hour. It's like, it's how you stay young. You got to get that sleep.
I gotta get my 8 hours. I'm horrible at sleep.
Gotta get that sleep.
All right, we'll do that. Me and Dex will be live later after the first round, New York Post Sports YouTube channel, and I will go on playback with the 5 Reasons guys now because I want to see their anxiety as the Heat pick 20th and get Walter Clayton Jr. and everyone gets pissed off.
Oh
so I'm gonna go be an anarchist.
It would be such a Miami pick.
He's from there too. He's from Florida.
Yeah, he's from Florida.
V, as a Miami Heat fan,
I'm not a Heat fan. You know this.
Especially
now, listen.
now because Jimmy's got it. But as someone who followed the Heat for many years, how you feeling about this team going forward?
I hate them.
It was funny. It almost feels like the Heat lost their identity. Like I don't know what they are.
They have keep Bam, trade everyone else except Khalil Ware. That's what I think they should do.
I mean,
they should have traded for KD.
I might even
try
to. At this point, I might even trade Bam right now.
I hear the case. I think Bam's earned enough to where you have to meet with him and be like, all right, you want to stay around.
Because Bam, you ain't winning nothing with this squad. I'll tell you that right now.
They need to rearrange it. But I think they're gonna have space next year. And people say, "Oh, free agency doesn't exist," but it's like, no, you can get space to trade guys into your space. Trade for guys into your space.
Great.
The problem is you need the draft capital to do it, and they have more than they used to, but they don't quite have enough yet.
So, and do they have enough quality depth to go toe to toe with the best teams in the league?
Not right
Again,
now.
they have more than they used to, but no, that's a different question. I'm talking about for trade purposes. You're saying on the court, no, they do not have that.
Yeah.
No, I like Jovic, but they can't figure out how to play him in the correct role. Yeah. And he's extension eligible, and I feel like they should extend him to like a 3-year, $30-something million deal. But it's like
Tyler Hero.
They don't have a 3.
Don't get me started on.
They don't have a 3.
I mean, yeah. Listen, Heat got some work to do. If you're sorry, Heat fans, it's the reality.
All right, with that, we'll be back on the channel at some point soon. We'll see. Probably Monday, because we're doing a pre-free agency special that Monday morning. I'll be on a whole bunch of other shit post tonight, and also later on this week, we are doing a post-fight show for Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. over on the mandatory channel. So that card.
Can somebody just knock that dude out, please?
God. Yo, wasn't Andre Ward supposed to fight him? What happened to that?
Nah, that's not gonna happen. By the way, Deontay Wilder returns Friday.
I think he should retire.
I do too, but he's not. So I might do a video on that. I haven't done anything boxing in a while because boxing's been asked for like a month. And
well, you got the Canelo and Terrence Crawford fight coming up, right?
Oh, but that's in September.
Oh, man, hey, Crawford, how old is Bud Crawford now? Like 1,000?
38, 37, 38.
What are we doing out here?
Canelo's old too. Canelo's 35-ish.
All right, man.
All right.